we may be about to work on the biggest guide project I've ever done. And this thing is going to be like literally really absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to get started on it. But first, look, we've worked on the holes, not just like a straight down hole in the ground. We have a tapered edge around the thing and it looks really good. Also, I've added a couple more platforms. There's not really anything on them yet, but they are there. But that has nothing to do with what we're doing today. You can see also I've dug down a little bit further between episodes as well. And unfortunately for me, this is nothing compared to what I actually need to do, because I've made this project even bigger. Because today's episode, and honestly maybe the next couple of episodes, are going to be a multi-part little series on how to make, honestly, the best, most mega super smelter you have ever seen in your life. Okay, I don't know if I can live up to that, but this thing is really awesome. I'm not going to go over all the features to it right now. Just know that the size that I'm going to make this thing for my world is 350 furnaces, but I will make sure to show you how you can make this thing really any size you want. So for those of you where that's a little big and maybe you want like 50 or 70 furnaces or something like that, maybe suits you a little bit better, I'll help you out with how to do that as well. I guess first things first, if I need to make 350 furnaces, I mean, we have a lot of things to do before we place furnaces down, but I have been running like everything here in the storage area. Bulk storage is set. What we need right now is cobblestone. How much cobblestone does it take to make 350 furnaces? Well, the answer to that was 43 stacks of cobble plus another 48. So I got that together and crafted up the 350 furnaces that I needed, and I decided I would also make the roughly 22 stacks of hoppers I'm going to need as well. The bamboo farm definitely came in handy here, as I had barely enough bamboo between a few different storage areas to make all the chests that I needed, and I had just enough iron left over at the iron farm to make all of the hoppers. Well, after all that, I'm definitely going to have to AFK at the bamboo farm and the iron farm now. I spent a little bit of time. I got a couple more platforms built just to see where those are going to need to go. And I dug the hole down a little bit more. But anyways, like the next thing we need to do is we actually need to finish digging this thing down the rest of the way. So I'm going to take care of this over a couple of live streams. If you were able to watch one of them, let me know down in the comment section below. And when I get back, we should have an even bigger hole in the ground to start working with and actually start building our super duper ultra big super smelter of doom. TM. Okay, many streams later and this thing is dug out. We've gone down quite a ways and this took quite a bit of time. You can see as we come down to the bottom here, we are at Y level -11. This is how far I decided I need to go. We are well within deep slate level. It actually lined up pretty cool with the, or pretty good with the double spider farm from earlier in the season. So that's really cool. Double spider spawner farm. And I left a little indentation of the circle here. That way, if we need to do anything else with this, we can. Although I really don't think that's going to be necessary outside of this becoming some sort of like big naturey area. We actually dug down below our beacon, and I even dug more holes down where our future beacons are going to go. Remember, we're going to have 5 of them here, so I have 5 holes down in the ground to set up the beacons in eventually. But what we need to do is we actually need to put our plan into place here, and I've got some things on me to start doing that. This is the side where all of our inputs are so far. Our input system, main input system's up there. This right here is where our bulk storage overflow is. And right here is where our input for the furnace system is going to go. And then there's going to be furnaces on this side, and this side. I have a really cool configuration that you guys are going to love for this that I've kind of worked out, and a really like interesting output system and item transport system and all sorts of stuff. You're going to love it. It's going to be really, really, really cool. But those things, they're going to come in a later episode. I think this episode is probably going to focus specifically on the systems we need to work on first. The item input system, and then where those items go to, which is the like distribution network, we'll call it. There's very little redstone needed with this, a little bit, but not much. It's all pretty simple stuff. We are going to need a little bit of space though. I've actually already marked off where I believe our input's going to go, which our input's going to be this boat right here. It's going to sit roughly like this. We'll maybe build something around it to give us like a cool access door or look into it in some way, shape, or form. And then if you shift click the boat, it will open up the inventory. And the nice thing about a boat chest or chest boat is that you can fit pretty easily and comfortably 4 hopper minecarts underneath it, which each hopper minecart pulls items out at 4 times hopper speed. meaning that our output from this chest is going to be 16. I clicked it without shifting. Our output from this chest is going to be at 16 times hopper speed. It's going to be incredibly fast. Now, I need a little bit more space to work with in this because we're going to have some loading stations for some minecarts to move around and items to move around and enough room to maneuver our hoppers to all those different stations, etc. So I've already kind of pre-calculated roughly what I think I'm going to need. I'm going to go bigger than that though, just so I can have a little bit of extra room. But the width I need is 17. The length I need is, I think, 10. And I only need 5 depth, but I think that's where I'm going to go a decent amount more. We might go about, oh man, I really don't want to dig this much more deep slate. We're probably going to go about 15 blocks down, just so I know I have more than enough room to make hoppers go where I need to, and they don't like do this weird like intersection thing with each other. And then we're going to set it up to where all of the hopper minecarts are going to go clockwise. So they'll kind of go around here and they'll circle around. So anyways, let me get the hole dug, and that'll get us a little bit of room to get working on things. If you are enjoying this video, you can help support the channel by clicking the like button down below. To get notified about new videos on the Bedrock Guide, Let's Play series, tutorials, and more, make sure you click that subscribe button and make sure you click that bell icon to turn your notifications on. Thank you, and back to the video. All right, so I got our little area dug out here, and I think I know what the plan is going to be. So our first like loading module is going to go right here directly underneath, because ultimately I want the items to get here first. And then if it gets to the other ones later, that's fine, right? Because the items will get there before this guy takes off. And then we'll have the next one over here, and then here, and then here. And you guys will see what those modules look like in a little bit. They're pretty interesting. You're going to like them. And then our like little station that sends the cart off will be over here going in this way. And then I carved out this much space. It's probably more than I need. I just wanted to give myself extra room for hoppers to move around and stuff. I think I've given myself more than enough extra room. So this should work good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up with these, like what's going to be the left side hoppers, I think. And then this is where our like first loading area is going to be. Let's see. Let's station it maybe right here. So I'm going to start by using a solid block here. And I think I'm going to use wool just so I don't accidentally break the blocks. We're going to use wool there. And then we're going to end up having a little like zigzag of rail kind of go around, and it's going to come back this way and go over and then connect to what should be another one right there. So let's kind of see, let me see if this is going to work out the way that I want it to. I've brought some of my supplies here, and I'm just going to worry about doing the rails first, I think. So we're going to put a temporary rail right here, a rail here, a rail here, and we're going to loop this guy up. Anywhere where we have a little straight stretch, we're going to throw a powered rail so we can keep this thing moving as fast as possible. This will go here. That'll go there. And then this will connect here. If when you place this down, these two connect together, get rid of this rail, place down 3 like that, and then place this rail back, and you'll be fine. But this is going to go like that, which means that I did get all the spacing right. So that means that we're going to have a station every 2 gaps like this, and then we are going to come out 3 and go over 1 and just kind of like zigzag across like this. And this last one will go over like that. And I'll show you guys, you'll see what this looks like in a second. We want to get all of our rails placed first, that way we don't have issues with rails connecting, disconnecting, all sorts of like weird stuff. So this is going to come down. These two are going to go over. This will go there. This will go there. This will go there. And then this is where our cart will ultimately head off and go over and get to the furnaces. Now that this is all there, we can get rid of these top rails. We do not need them. And we need power to all of these. I'm just going to give myself a way under here, and I don't think anything goes on the back side, so I think we'll just give ourselves an easy in right here. All right, now we just need to add power to the bottom. So looks like we're going to go, let's see, we have to make a little pattern here. So it should be this, 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 like that. We want all of these powered all the time. Yes. That means this, 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 and this, and this. Basically, we're just getting our levers down to power all of our rails. Now, I'm going to grab my hoppers. We're probably actually going to need more than that, but we're just going to set up the first unit for now. We're going to place down a temporary block right on top of that rail, just like that, because we want hoppers facing in all directions right here. So we're going to have a hopper facing down in this way, in this way, and in this way. So that's 4 hoppers going in. We're moving into each station at 4 times hopper speed. We're going to do that on all 4 of these. And then just to make all of these even, we're going to do this. And now all that looks good. So that's like the hopper input system made pretty simple. I can tell I'm going to need to dig this wall out this way a couple more blocks, but that's going to be easy. That's going to be fine. Oh, you know what I also forgot? Here, let's put, I need to knock this guy out real quick. I need to put this here because I'm going to have another line coming in here. We're going to do that here in a minute. If I place down just that one rail, that'll be fine. We should be able to go ahead and knock that back out. Put our temporary block back down here and face our hopper back in. Okay, next we need a system that's going to lock these hopper minecarts in place. Next we need a system that's going to lock these chest minecarts in place. Basically, it will keep the chest minecart here for as long as we need it to before it releases it and lets it go about its way. So I'm going to place a temporary block here. So I'm going to place a temporary block here, here, and here just to kind of get over. And then we're going to take a sticky piston, place a sticky piston right here, and we need a top slab on that sticky piston. We're going to place a temporary block here, sticky piston, top slab, and we'll repeat that. Take out those temporary blocks. And we will create a little path that leads up to these guys. And looks like right now is about when I could use that little bit extra space. I'm going to dig this wall out about 2 more blocks. That way I think, no, I probably need to go more than that. I'm going to go about 4 more blocks in this direction to give myself a little bit extra space. Okay, now we're going to connect up to all of these. This first one will be a temporary block, but this next one will not. So we're just come out 3 on all of these, and then we will knock out the close one by each of the pistons. At the end of each one of these, we're going to place a redstone torch because we want the default position of these pistons to be extended. That way they will always be extended unless we unextend them. Now we're going to connect all of these together like so. And then coming off of any one of these, we just want a single right here. We're going to put a repeater right there. We're going to put it on 4 ticks like so. I'm going to place a temporary block right here, a redstone block right there, come out 2 temporary blocks, and then we're going to put a sticky piston right here facing that way, a temporary block right there with an observer looking down. And then we just need to dig a little trench right here. Ooh, looks like we have a little bit of space underneath us. That's fine. I think we need this little trench to go down 2 blocks in some parts. So we'll just take the whole thing down by 2. I think it's fine. And then we're just going to make a pretty basic like etho hopper clock here. Got to face a couple hoppers into each other right here. Face a couple comparators out. Put a couple pieces of redstone dust right on top like so. Put a redstone block here. And redstone dust going here. So let me just throw a few items in here temporarily to show you more or less what's going to happen as we do this. Basically, as that goes back and forth like so, you're going to see it temporarily move all of these guys out of the way. This observer looking down sees every time that this piston moves the redstone block back and forth. It sends a signal up to this sticky piston, which temporarily moves our block over. We use a 4-tick repeater here to give ourselves both a little bit of a delay and a longer pulse right here, because we want these carts to stay out of the way a decent amount of time. And then as this redstone signal travels across, when it gets on this little block right here, it temporarily turns off that torch, which allows these pistons to retract. Pretty nice little system, works really good, and it's exactly what we need. Look, and it's exactly what we need for hopper minecarts. Now I'm going to pull all of the items out of here. I think I had 7 blocks. I do not need them in here right now. And we're going to put another block in the system here. We actually need a total of 25 blocks. And the reason why we're going to put 25 blocks in here is because it will allow our timer here to go exactly 10 seconds between pulses when it does this. Each time it does that, 10 seconds pass, which happens to be exactly how long it takes for a furnace to smelt an item. You can see where we're going with this. Okay, next thing we need to do is the spaghetti hopper monster. We need to get all of these up here. And I think I know at least the method that we're going to use. So I think I'm just gonna kind of pillar up on the hoppers. And what I'm gonna try to do is I'm just gonna get each module in like a row. So module 1 would go in this row. Module 2 would go in this row. Module 3 in this one, and module 4 in that one. And I think that'll do what I need it to do for the most part. So this one right here seems to already kind of line up. So I think what we'll do is we'll start right here and we'll work our way through. So I went through placing in all the hoppers, and while it's really hard to show you here in the exact way of doing it, I can give you a couple of tips. First, do one hopper line at a time all the way to its destination up top. So that way you don't get them mixed up. Second is to make sure you don't have any hoppers from a line you're working on go directly over or under any other hopper lines. So be sure that you always have a 1 block gap between them. And third is we actually need to run a test on this thing, and we want to make sure that we could put an item inside of each one of these, and we end up with an item in each one of them down bottom. So let's get 16 of something that we're not going to get mixed up. Let's say spruce planks should be good. We know we have 16 hoppers, so we're gonna grab 16 spruce planks. Let's see if we can shoot up here, and we'll just try really hard to make sure we go in some sort of order. That way we don't accidentally double place any planks in any of these hoppers. Okay, and if we did everything right, and hopefully we did, otherwise we're gonna have to rip this whole thing out probably. We should be able to go in and pull one out of each one of these. So we'll check the right, the middle, the back, and the left on each one. And the last one right there. Perfect. So we got 16 out. Okay, so this next part is actually rather tricky. So we have our hoppers a couple spaces below where we actually want them to sit. I'm going to put a buffer in between them right now because I need to make 100% sure that we get even distribution to all of the hoppers. So we're going to place a buffer, and we're going to just face a bunch of hoppers straight down because we know we're going to go straight down into the hoppers below. Now we're going to want to place some trapdoors down on these middle 4 blocks, and I'm going to place them down kind of going the opposite way that our boat's going to face. So we're going to go like this and like this. We're going to place walls down across here and there. This is how we're going to more or less judge and set up our placement for our hopper mine carts. Also, I need to make myself a little bit of room to be able to walk around and not like fall down. We need to be able to see kind of where we're working. Okay, so this process shouldn't be too hard. We're going to place a rail, place hopper mine cart, select the rail, break it, push the minecart over and then up. So over and then up, all the way up. And it should sit exactly like that. Rail, minecart, break, over, up. More trapdoors. You want to place them on top of these guys. Same thing on the other side. Boom. And our boat is going to sit pretty much right on the middle of this. Now, after getting all the hopper minecarts in place, now it's time to do a little bit of testing. So we're going to put 4 items inside of each hopper minecart, and we're going to look inside of each hopper below it. If the hopper minecarts are placed properly, then each hopper should have 1 item inside of it. Next, you can go ahead and shift click to place your boat on the trapdoors, get in the boat, go into third person view, look straight down at yourself, and line up the front of your boat in about the middle of the wall. So now go ahead and jump out, and we're going to run one more test. You're going to put 16 items in the chest boat. You'll know you have the boat in the right position if all 16 hoppers below have 1 item in them each. If not, keep adjusting the position of the boat slightly until they are all pulling in the items. All right, it evenly distributed through. Now what we can do is we can knock out this whole like middle layer that we created. Place hoppers down, facing down into all of these hoppers. Make sure you click the top of it so it is facing downwards. Start with the back just so you can see a little bit better. And you can make sure that they're all facing downwards. And now we do want to kind of like lock everything in, more or less. We don't want anything to move. So we're just going to kind of like surround everything with blocks. And same thing with like this boat area too. I think I ended up putting the boat a little bit higher than I needed to, but that's fine. Like we could build a little ramp up here. It's not a big deal. But we do want to make sure that nothing can touch the boat that we don't want to touch the boat. We'll put some slabs right there like that. Now, if I click it, I get trapped in the slabs, but if I jump, it does let me out. So I think we're good to go there. And then this is it. This is how we get in. We come over, we shift click, we put things in, and they should now make their way all the way down. We do need to make sure that happens. We always run multiple tests to make sure that everything happens as it's supposed to. So I'm going to clear out the hoppers one more time, put, I don't know, a stack of items in, and that stack of items should get evenly distributed across all hoppers. The speed in which the boat chest has the items come out, this is actually the speed in which you'll be like smelting items in the end. So when we pop this in, that's quick, right? The whole stack is gone. It is moving out at 16 times hopper speed. And if we go down here, we should see 4 in every single hopper. We're going to leave those in here because we're going to have to test one final thing. Okay. So if we've done everything right, I should be able to take a minecart with the chest, place it right here. It's stuck. It doesn't move. And now it should have the 16 light gray wool from this section here. If I turn this system on after about 40 seconds, once it gets all the way through to the end and shoots out, we should see that it moves from section to section, getting the 16 wool from each section, and at the end popping out over here and having a stack of wool in it. There we go. It works perfectly. Okay, next we just need the system that's going to launch the hopper minecarts or the chest minecarts out. I'll place down 5 rails, a powered rail on each end, 3 rails in the middle. I've timed it out this way specifically because it makes sure that this cart will arrive at this station at the same time that all of the other carts move down, around, and up to their next station, because we want to be a 100% even distribution across all of these. So make sure that you get that timed right. And then lastly, we need to take a dispenser that's going to dispense our chest minecart out. We're going to put it right there. We're going to run a redstone line down from here and over to our dispenser like so, bringing the dust down over. We will put a repeater, leaving on 1 tick right here, and then place this here. And then what we should see, if we place a few of these guys here, is if we turn the system back on, you're going to see that goes in and loads up. Let's get on the back side here because we see a little bit better. When this one, they should both arrive at the same time. Yes, they did. So now all of them will arrive at the exact same time, making sure that we get a nice even distribution of items from all of the stations. So that leaves me with some things to think about going into the second half of this tutorial. What I think we're going to end up doing is we're going to set up a system here, maybe with like a cactus or something that will break, like these minecarts will basically do a big loop around, right? They'll go over all the hoppers and they'll end up back here at the station. But I think what I want to ultimately do with them is we'll have something like a hopper just like going into here, and then we'll have the chest mine carts hit like a cactus or something, which will break them, but they will still stay as a chest mine cart. This is something that they changed maybe about a year or two ago. I can't remember how long ago it was, but it stays as a chest mine cart instead of breaking into two pieces like it used to, and it'll auto like feed back into the system. And then we'll just need to determine, you know, roughly how many is it that we need to have. We may even just need to have like a back storage of them, because there's going to be a decent amount. So having something like this where this guy goes in here and then we have like a double chest of them, and then they drop in like this and fill up that chest just to have like a little backlog, something like that should be roughly what we need. On top of that, we'll get the furnaces placed in, all the hoppers placed in. We'll have the item output system, which will be part of this too. The next episode's going to be pretty big. I hope you guys are excited about I hope you all are as excited about this working as I am, because this is all pretty cool. I can't wait for it all to finally come together and be a complete functional system. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications. That way you're notified when the next episode, part 2, comes out. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.